Alright everybody, hello. Man, that was probably like my most well thought out intro that I've done in a while. Been feeling really good, I just had some coffee right now too. And also, I feel like I've been in kind of like a rut recently. I've been making some pretty good beats off the camera, which is good, but I feel like I just haven't really been able to feel anything from it. And whenever that happens, you always gotta try to do some other stuff. You know, that's why I was in such a like a lo-fi kick for a while, when I did like lo-fi for like a month straight. I was doing so many like trap beats and everything like that. And now I don't want to do any trap beats. I've been doing that for so long recently. I don't want to be doing any lo-fi right now. That's kind of like, not in the past, but I want to go something a little bit different route this time. So right now I'm really feeling like some boom bap, which is a thing that I've not been feeling in a while. Hey everyone, so I just want to say that I'm trying out a new autofocus mode on my camera and it did not go so well. It's constantly taking me in and out of frame. The video is still really good though. The beat turned out really nice. I hope you guys watched the very end, and there's only so much that I can do with editing, so hopefully it doesn't mess up too bad. Alright, later. So the first thing that I did is I went over to Splice, and then I actually got these 4 samples over here. I just looked up like boom bap stuff, and then it kind of came up with like the perfect stuff. I think it's actually from the same guy too, at least these 3, the melodies, are from the same guy, I'm pretty sure. And then the drums are somebody completely different, but they pair really well. This is the one that you guys already heard. And then this is just like a vocal chop up. And finally, this is actually the loop that I started off with. I downloaded first because it was just had that really like jazzy boom bappy feeling. Boom bappy. I sound like something you would call your grandpa. Anyway, here's the sample. So I don't know if we're going to be using all 4 samples here. If we do, it's going to be a little bit sparse. And I like to make my boom bap stuff a little bit longer. Usually like my trap beats are like 3.5 minutes. I usually like to go for like 4.5, maybe even 5 for some of this like old school boom bap stuff. And when it comes to like old school sounding melodies like this with some vocals in it, it always reminds me of something that like Logic would do off of like Young Sinatra or even Under Pressure. So we're gonna try and do something like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pause everything right now. I'm gonna turn off the recording, and then we're gonna come back once I actually find something like a cut up, like a vocal chop or anything like that. Okay, so I haven't even started my camera again. I actually paused the video to try and see if I can't find a slice up, because I honestly am not great at using Fruity Slicer. So I used this melody right here and see if I couldn't slice anything up with it, and I found this right here, and I actually do like what I came up with. Okay, so I actually really do like that chop up. We might use it for like a bridge or something like that, or we might even use it for the full beat, we'll see. Now I want to do one more chop up with these vocals right here. They're very old-timey. So I'm gonna go pull up Fruity Slicer again and see if I can't find any sort of chop up. Okay, I think I might have found the first part. So this sounds like You Love Her. Wait, hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna try something like that. Alright, so it sounds like there's actually a little bit of clicking and popping, so I'm gonna go and change up the attack a little bit. Okay, that's good. I actually do like that. Okay, and then we need this part back. And then, what was that one part? Okay, so it's like this, and then like that. I actually like that. We're gonna keep it. Alright, I think that we are all good to go, and I think that we have everything that we need, so let's go ahead and start arranging this thing. Alright, now usually I really enjoy to make my own stuff, as much as I do enjoy using samples as well. When it comes to drums, I don't use too many drum samples, but when it comes to like this boom bap, like, you know, rhythm driving type of track, I'm not the best at creating drum loops for that. So that's why I'm using the sample, and it turns out really good. So for an intro, we definitely don't want that. We might keep that to right there. Don't want that yet either. See how that sounds. That's already really good. Let's see how it sounds with one of the chop ups. Okay. Then we'll bring it in with the chop up. I like doing these like repeating patterns because it kind of has like that old-timey like it's stuttering effect almost. So this track is going to be mainly verse. I'm not even sure if I want to add a hook because not all boom bap tracks have hooks, you know? It's just going to be like straight like 4 minutes of just straight rapping. Drum break right here. I'm gonna drag this on over to about right there. And we're gonna have like 2 bars of like a drum break. Okay, that'll be good. And we're gonna bring it back with the chop up. Go ahead and just get the vocals in here then. Okay, and then we're gonna cut this part off right there. Then bring my sample, my chop up in. That's the wrong chop up. And now comes the easy part where we're honestly just gonna try and loop this from here. I think we have everything that we need, and that's gonna equal out to about... That's a little bit long. Tell you what we can do. We can actually get rid of the drums and then all of the mixing and the mastering, everything that I have to do to make it all sound good. I did it off camera because I needed to be able to hear what I'm doing, and I had to turn off my microphone so I wouldn't get that really high-pitched whining noise. And it actually turned out pretty good. A few things that I did in the arrangement was, so after this little drum break that we had right here, I wanted there to be kind of like a build up and not just have it flow completely into the next part. So I actually chopped up the drums a little bit to have a little bit more of like a drum fill. And you might be wondering where are the 808s or the bass drums or anything like that, and honestly I don't have any. Whenever I make like boom bap stuff, like old retro stuff or lo-fi even, I won't even really add any 808s. I really let the instruments take care of the bass for me. And one thing that I actually didn't realize was I actually pitched down the vocals right here by 1 semitone to put it into B minor with everything else. But when I put it into Fruity Slicer, it actually didn't pitch it down or didn't keep it pitched down. So once I heard it, I immediately went in there and where's the thing? And pitched it down by 1 semitone within Fruity Slicer. And finally, once I got all my levels right, I actually went to go with the stereo separation knob and started to really mess with it a little bit. I kept the main melody that we had and the vocals that we have very mono. Actually, it's a very retro track. You know, they didn't really have a whole lot of stereo stuff in the back in those days, but I still wanted to have it a little bit more modernized. So I actually did something I don't usually do, and that's actually put the drum sample all the way to completely stereoized. Because I wanted to get that feel of like a live drummer, you know, like it's bouncing off the walls and everything like that, so I kind of really like that effect. And these keys right here actually put stereo too. And speaking of those keys, I actually had a problem with these two melodies clashing together. The basses were really clashing together, that both samples really have some really heavy bass, and I was really struggling which one I really wanted to have the bass, and I actually chose the keys at first to have the bass, but then once the drop happened, there was nothing, so it just still felt like an intro. So I actually put the main melody with the bass, and it sounded really good. But the main melody still had a little bit too much bass in one of the notes. It's what it sounded like without the EQ. That note right there, this little note right here, is where I heard too much bass. I went into FabFilter and used a dynamic EQ That way it's only going to be chopping down the low end once it peaks like that. So now it's going to sound like this. Really mellowed it out. On the keys as well, I added a limiter to try and give it a little bit more compression. The strumming of the first chord really is loud and then it dies off really quickly, so I just want to get rid of that with some of the compression. And then I added a little bit of RC20. I just distorted it with the air preset a little bit and put up the wobble to about 15% like I usually do. And one final instance of RC20 on the master bus, strictly only for the noise effect. I don't like having noise on one instrument. I would rather put it on its own master bus. And then for the final touches, I put on some Ozone 8 just for some mastering. Alright, and after all that said, let's go and listen to what it sounds like. Alright, and that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you guys thought about this beat. I know it's only samples, and it's not very common to use only samples, but I really want to try and make like some really awesome like boom bap stuff, and I think it turned out really good. So let me know what you guys thought. But thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Whoa. Nope. Okay. Stop. Relax. And so I'm gonna go pull up 40 slicer, get 40. That's not it. Wait, that was wrong. Alright, turning back on camera. Come on, come here. Find me. Thank you. Keep it there. I forgot that wasn't, I had to turn that off. Hang on. Alright, cool. I think what we're actually gonna do now is just go ahead and cut everything else off. That was a bad idea. Man, I am in love with this pause feature. That is just so freaking good. The dynamic IQ. So once I heard that part, with the dynamic IQ. Wow, I cannot say that. So after that note that I heard, I actually went into Fruity. It's not called Fruity FabFilter. Stop saying that. And yeah, Logic is my favorite artist of all time. If you guys don't know, probably not. I don't know why you would know that. It's kind of weird.